Welcome into hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything.
Party of two.
That's right. I'm Ryan Muma, not Kate. That's Penny. That is Penny. And we're here.
And we're
doing
without
the
Laura.
show. I know we're
No,
without
Laura.
Laura too.
Yeah.
We're without Kate. I mean, it's a weird vibe, but a good one
Yes,
because we're
yes.
going to talk, let's just say stuff.
Stuff.
We're going to talk stuff because it's what we do. And we
Mm-hmm.
sometimes quite literally come on the show, have no clue what we're going to talk about, start talking, and then boop, idea pops into the
Uh-huh.
brain. We did have a little bit of a pre-conversation, so we do have something. So, Penny, happy to, of course, be doing the show with you today.
Thank you. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
I've kind of been gone.
I know.
But hey, I'm back.
Been a
I'm
little
happy to
busy.
be back.
Been
Yes.
a little busy. I was gone, actually,
Yes, you
most
were.
recently as last week, where I was up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, taking a little family vacation. So actually, it was our first family vacation. I say family meaning me, the wife, and the twins. That's it. It was just us
Okay.
four. Because we've taken family vacations with her side, my side, the whole nine. But this is the first us four vacation. That's it. And it went awesome.
It went awesome.
Oh, my God.
Ah, that's wonderful.
God.
Especially with small humans like you
Yes.
guys have, that could go left or right, up or down, all kinds of who knows which direction.
I was nervous because with the whole thing of driving,
oh yes.
with the whole thing of, the long drives. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that was the biggest thing for me in the sense of, we had to drive 5 hours to the Dells, 5 hours from there, the Wisconsin Dells, 5 hours from there to the UP. So, I mean, it's a lot of driving for,
It is.
it's a lot of driving for me and you. It's a lot of driving for them.
Because by the way, they're in car seats. It's
Yep.
not like they can kind of like wiggle
Move
a
around-
little
no.
bit and get in the
Oh,
back
there were
seat.
many a times, like, Daddy, my butt hurts. Like, and you just, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
And
you
you're
know what I mean?
saying, so does mine.
I know, like, I want to get out of the car too. Like, we still got an hour. But they were great. Took a couple naps, chilled out. We probably got, well, not probably, we did. We got suckered into buying a new stuffed animal at every gas station we went to.
Okay.
Gas stations do a really good job of putting stuffed animals right where the bathrooms are. So
Oh,
it just
fascinating.
basically is right in front of your face. And because we stopped, we always seem to stop at one of those like truck stop ones
Yes.
where it was like, it's really nice. And then you go to the bathroom and then they got like a bunch of convenience store stuff.
Yes.
Well, then they got what we call stuffies and they're right there. And like,
Yes.
oh, look, Daddy, it's a kitty cat. And it's like, you know what? You've been good. Sure. So my bank account took a huge hit of stuffed animal. There was a huge stuffed animal store in the back seat of my truck.
Oh,
Let's
that's
just put it that way.
hilarious. But
So
you
it was
know,
great.
it also gave him a little bit of entertainment.
It did.
Yes.
It did. And then, had to get two, because of the twins. But anyways, it went really well. It went really
Nice.
well.
Good job.
The thing I want to kind of piggyback off of this whole conversation is quite literally just talking kids. Obviously, Penny from your field and just the whole mental side of it, the developmental side, plus being a mom, being a grandmother now and all that. Obviously, myself being in the very, very early stages of parenthood. But again, a couple years under my belt, if I do say so myself. But
Yes.
I wanted just to talk kids because one of the funny things that we kind of it turned into during this vacation was as it was just us four. You're literally just the four of you. So you learn even more about one another than you even did before, which is wild to think about.
Even about your wife.
Yes.
Even
that
about
too.
each other, not just about the children. But go ahead.
It was
Sorry.
one of those things where like literally our cell service didn't work.
Oh.
Phones wouldn't work. Like it was literally it's just us. And I loved it. I loved it.
That's fascinating.
Because it was just you didn't have anything. You didn't have anything. Like we had Wi-Fi at the campground, but like it wasn't very good.
yes.
It was a little spotty. But anyways, it was literally just us. So one of the things that made me laugh was my twins like everything, but also like nothing at the same time.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Or they want everything, but want nothing at the same time. Let me
Okay,
explain.
yes,
So the
yes.
explanation is food, right?
Okay.
So obviously we cook dinner, do the whole thing. I'll give the analogy I'll give the example of pickles. Okay, we had pickles on for burgers one night. I know my kids don't like pickles because they've had them before and they don't like them. But every time we bring the pickle jar out, they say, "Oh, I like pickles." And I go, "Do you?" And they go, "I want pickles. I want pickles." I'm like, "Okay." So we give them a little bit. And as soon as we go to spoon feed it or put it on their plate, they go, "Ugh, I don't like pickles." And I'm like, "Well, you just said you liked them." So it's like this weird mind game where like they really like it or they say they do. But then they're like, "Blech, I don't like that." And I'm all for trying stuff because
Well, sure,
obviously at this
sure,
stage
you
of
need
life, you
to.
got to try everything.
Yes.
And anytime they do try it, even if they don't like it, we applaud them and be like, hey, thank you.
Nice.
Like, good job for trying. Really proud of you for trying.
Love that.
And then the other one wants to do it because the other one's getting praised. And
Yep.
twin
Love it.
syndrome. But anyways, we're doing this whole thing of, ooh, I like that. And then we go to try, I don't like that. And you don't even try it. What is this, Penny? What is this? It probably isn't any rhyme or reason. It's probably just kids, but I don't know. It just made me laugh.
No. I think it is kids, but I think adults are this way too. Because you think about it, we want something that might be at a store,
Yes.
and we're like, oh, I gotta have it, gotta have it. I want it, and you get home and you don't use it.
Right.
Is that
Right.
similar? Do you think? Do you think it's the same kind of a vibe?
Could
of
be.
Like,
That's
it's
a good
like
analogy.
It looks enticing.
Yeah.
It looks delicious.
Yeah.
Personally, I think any pickle's amazing. But,
Right.
But at the same time, it's like something new.
Yep.
But now I'm really
Oh,
thinking.
here you go. There you go.
But
You're
I
welcome.
like this because you've encouraged them that anything is an option.
Yes.
That
Yes.
it's there. It's like, oh, I like that. I want that. Versus the alternative would be, ooh, I don't like that. Versus even trying it. So I think, ooh, as I talk through that one,
Look
I
at
think
you.
it's a reflection of you guys.
I appreciate
because
that.
you've created this environment of everything's an option. Enjoy it. Let's
Yeah.
see it. Try it.
Yeah.
Even though it drives you nuts because then you have to peel the pickles off.
So no,
What
it's
do
like
you
the
do?
little baby bell ones,
Oh,
or
yes.
baby dill, or whatever they're called.
Tiny baby ones.
So it's
Uh-huh.
just that's it. You know, and I'm just like, and I know they don't like it because we've gone through this song and dance probably 100 times. But every time, because they see mom and dad eating it, they're like, oh, I like that.
See?
And that's the thing. So it's like, okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, there you go.
The other thing that is funny, and I think this is all kids. This is not just conducive to mine, but touching every bit of food, even when it's not on their plate. I don't know. My twins do this thing where, and it drives my wife insane. I kind of just, it drives me nuts, but I'm also just kind of like, whatever. She drives her nuts.
Because what do they do again?
So what they do is, so say you have like a plate of something. They ask what that is, which again, any kid, what that?
That.
But
yes.
what they do is they take their finger at what that, and they like to touch it. They like to put their finger in it. And my wife goes, stop touching my food. Like, no, stop. Like, I love you, but no.
I love that expression. It's
Oh my
like,
God. And she'll just, please stop touching my food. Like, she will just please stop. Please stop. But it's like, it's just, they got to touch everything. And I know kids got to touch everything, but it's like, what that? What's that? What's that? And it's like, dude, stop.
So you know what that is?
What is it?
We have 5 senses.
Uh-huh.
And they're just at that stage where touch is how they're learning things.
Uh-huh.
It's no different than when they put everything in their mouth when they're
my God.
smaller. It's how they learn. It's how they understand. It's how they process whatever the object is, and they start to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're into the touching stage, and they just might be more tactile children.
I don't know.
but it's also identifying, hey, this. But
Yeah.
more so than anything, it's like they're interacting with it. As they're trying to understand it.
That's
Even
the
more
thing.
so, even wonderfully so, they say that.
Yes.
Yeah. Our little 15-month-old grandson, his favorite word is that.
That. Uh-huh.
And my daughter sent a picture of him pointing, and she said, "Can you hear this?" And it was a picture.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yes,
you
I can hear
could.
him going, that,
Uh-huh,
that,
uh-huh.
So,
Yes. No,
yes.
that's a great point. Again, the 5 senses, no doubt. You know, and it's just so, it's funny to me. I think what's been really cool about parenting is it's kind of made myself, and I'll just speak for myself, and I'm sure maybe the wife too, take a step back and kind of like watch them learn.
Yes.
And it's so interesting.
Yes.
Like what they do and how they interact. Like there were times during our trip where I would be sitting outside in, you know, the outside chair, and I'd just be sitting down, and they would just be walking around the campsite, talking and playing and whatever. And I just watched. Like I had nothing else I was doing. I just watched them be what I call chunky monkeys, just doing their thing,
that.
having fun, and just living life, right? With a rock and a stick. Like that's it.
Even better.
Like it was the best thing ever. But even like when we're at home, like I do the same thing. Like they'll be running around the house playing with all their toys, and I'll sometimes just watch them or just listen. to what they're doing. And they're really into everything's a baby. Right, so they got their stuffies. It's the baby. I take care of the baby, and then they like gently put the baby down like it's sleeping, and then they always like seem to tell me. I don't know if it's because I'm a loud person. Like, Daddy, you gotta be quiet. Just baby's sleeping. Daddy, quiet, baby. I'm not even talking. Then we have Daddy, quiet, baby sleeping.
They've probably
wait,
seen this
baby.
at daycare or something.
Probably, or us. I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
But it's just so interesting to me, the development and the process of a kid.
I thoroughly enjoy the fact that you are enjoying parenting so much.
Oh my God.
Because I think in my profession, it was always just like a hit and miss. Some people enjoyed parenting and some people did not enjoy it.
Right.
And for whatever reason, not saying they're right or wrong, but you're enjoying parenting. And I think when you have that enjoyment with your children will have enjoyment in home, in life, in everything.
Yes.
It just breeds itself, you
Yes.
know, of like this happiness. But there is something so simplistic about what you've created in vacation time, which was, you know, not only did you not have cell service, which is lovely in its
Oh my
own right
God, yes.
sometimes, but also you had sticks and rocks.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how powerful sticks and rocks can be.
Yeah.
And they don't need batteries.
No.
They don't need to do
No.
anything fancy. And they just were interacting with the world. I love to make this, I like to show this to my daughter when she's enjoying her little guy, how much she's enjoying it. It makes her understand how much we enjoyed her and her sisters when they were that age. And I think that there's something about this continuity of understanding life. And I know this sounds deep, but just think, your parents enjoyed you and your siblings as much as you're enjoying your little ladies. You know, that
100%.
they're just, it's so amazing just to watch the learning process. If you could see your brain work, it would be by observing these little kids, even though you can't see the brain working, but you can see it going,
what they're doing and everything. Yeah.
or conspiring or
Oh, yeah.
planning
No
or
doubt.
however you want to look at that. And I just think that that's wonderful because it's just an easy, wonderful thing to enjoy these humans that you're helping to curate. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Create, whatever.
Yeah.
however-
Mold, shape. Yeah.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
I will, and I want to. I'll throw this out there too, as we're inching closer to the end of this segment. Look, there are moments where I don't like parenting.
Absolutely.
And I know what you're saying, and I'm glad you said, and I appreciate what you said. Overall, I love parenting, and I
Yes.
love being a dad, and I love my kids and my wife and all that stuff. There are moments I don't like, and that's for
Absolutely.
everybody. You know what I mean? I don't.
Absolutely.
And the reason I say it is because, like, whenever I listen to people do what we're doing and talking about all the good, there is a part of me, the sinister part of me. It's like, oh, okay, is everything all roses? It's not. Like there are different things that you know come up where did they have tantrums while we were on vacation?
Absolutely.
Yes. At least one a day. Like it was at least one a day. Was the car ride great the entire time? No. Were they kicking and screaming, wanting to get out? Absolutely. But I think what the beautiful thing, and I think what my advice to people, and I struggle with it sometimes, but is to just focus on the good stuff. Like focus on how great was that vacation. Like tantrum here, tantrum there, fit here, throwing stuff, didn't eat their food here, whatever, doesn't matter. Like, was the trip overall a success? Absolutely.
Absolutely. But don't you think all those little things, a tantrum and the throwing food, and you actually thinking, ugh, this is
in the moment
not
it sucks.
having a good time.
Right.
Exactly. But I think that's just all part of the learning process too.
100%.
And it's not supposed to be rainbows and Skittles. It's
No.
it's gonna be bumps and bruises.
No doubt.
And even though I'm out of the stage of raising children, I very much remember times where I would like look at my husband like, take these children now.
Like, what did we do? Like,
Take
what are we
them.
doing?
I've had it.
Yes.
Blah blah blah. And I remember many times I would say, I understand my child is in this stage.
Yeah.
But I'm going to kick her through it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there. We're
Yeah.
not going to take our time. I'm going to kick this child through this stage. And I think that is normal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I would hope. I mean, as
Yeah.
long as you don't live in that yucky.
Constant
I can't
yuck,
stand it.
yeah.
Yeah. But the reality is, it's not rainbows and Skittles.
No.
Life is not rainbows and Skittles.
No.
But it's all about how you look at it
Yes.
and how you try to enjoy it. Even though you're like, dang, I'd really admire the fact that that kid is so determined, even
Yeah.
though it looks like a tantrum,
Yeah.
but it's determination.
Yes. There's something else I want to throw at
Okay.
you. There's something else I want to throw at you that I actually did for the first time the other day,
Ooh.
and it stopped a tantrum.
Ooh.
It was so weird.
Fascinating.
It was off the cuff,
Uh-huh.
and maybe it's something that you've already done, or it's
Uh-huh.
something that people do, but it worked. Now, again, could it have been stroke of luck? Maybe.
May never work again,
But
but it doesn't matter.
It worked the one time. So we'll talk
Okay.
about it on the other
All
side.
right.
Again, this is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. Welcome back to hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. Ryan Muma here with you. Kateless and Lauraless with the practically
Lauraless.
perfect, practically perfect Penny is with us here in studio. We've been bringing it down. We've been talking kids. We've been talking kids today and just having fun doing so. Come back from vacation, learned a lot about them, even though I knew a lot about them. 'Cause I feel like that sounds weird. Like, I learned a lot about my kids, but it's like, well, you've had them for 3 years now. It's like, well, I know, but you're
Oh.
secluded.
Yeah, but
You're
it's
secluded.
but it's constantly evolving. Don't you learn something about yourself every
100%.
so often anyway? Yeah.
Yes. I think I've learned a lot about myself as we've chatted it up on this show. You
There
know what I
you
mean?
go.
But no, so again, talking kids, breaking it down, different things that they do that I bring up my kids, but I'm sure people listening are like, oh, yeah, my kid does the same thing. So it's funny.
Okay.
So I maybe unlocked something, Penny. And I
Do
feel, I don't know. I just, it was a weird moment. So the other day, we're at home. It was late. We were getting ready for bedtime routine. The kids had not napped that day. It was the Monday after vacation. So they didn't go to daycare that day. So they didn't nap that day because we were unpacking. We were kind of just playing. We were doing the thing.
Settling
So
in.
they were tired. They
Yes,
were
of
tired
course.
by the time the nighttime hit. So, of course, when a kid gets tired, everything in the world is just,
Uh-huh.
So, all of a sudden, I was doing the dishes, and the kids were cleaning up their toys. But then it turned into Sissy's picking up more toys than me. Because, well, actually, let me ask you this. This is a funny thing. And I brought up twin syndrome.
Yes, I
And
love
you
that
laughed
word.
about it.
Yeah, I like that
I don't know.
word.
It's just a random thing I came up with. But so I've noticed that when we praise one twin, the other twin's like, well, I can do that too.
I love that.
And it's like, so this was kind of a backfire to that because they would pick up this handful of toys to bring in their playroom. And they go, Daddy, look. I'm like, oh, you're big and strong. Good job. And then the other one would be like, well, I don't have any toys to pick up. Oh, no. And they were devastated. Even though, Penny, there was a gazillion toys they could have picked up. But it was that toy and that pile of toys. Yeah. So it turned into this whole thing. So they were just tantrum after tantrum. After every time I would praise a kid, the other one would freak out. Well, finally, the one was just bawling in the corner, flopped on the floor, just everything in the world is
Overwhelmed.
horrible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, I said, Sissy, come here, And so I'm a loud person. So there are times where I'm like, God, okay. And like the voice gets raised, like, stop crying, stop. Well, all of a sudden, I don't know why I clicked to do this, but I literally, she's looking at me, couldn't calm down. And I start mouthing my words, not saying anything. And I start going, I go, and I know I'm doing it on radio, so it doesn't do it justice. But like I'm mouthing out very quietly my words, even quieter than what I'm saying right now.
Yes, you're on it.
And all of a sudden, like it was funny, her head's up like this. If you're watching on our smart TV, her head's up like this. And then she kind of puts her head down. She's quiet, stops everything. And is like looking at me going, what are you saying? And then I kept it at that tone.
Yes,
And I'm like,
so proud of you.
I'm like, okay, just gonna calm down. We're gonna breathe. We're gonna relax. It's okay. Are you okay? And she's like, yeah. And then which was fine. So I turn to my wife and I'm like, I figured something out. And she's like, what? And I'm like, because then the other one started freaking out. And I go, just talk really quiet. Like literally. She goes, what are you talking about? Like, no, seriously. Have her look at you and talk really quiet and like mouth out. She did it. The other twin, silent. Just
Two
stopped.
for two.
And I was like,
We're on it.
what are we doing? So it sounds like this is something that is something you've maybe done yourself or you've talked about before or whatever.
Okay, but yes, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was huge for you guys, you know,
Right.
because even if you go to a therapist or whatever and they give you great ideas, and they are good ideas, you have to make them your own.
Yeah.
So what you did was you made it your own, which is phenomenal. But what you did was you did not meet them at their level.
Yes.
So their level was overwhelmed, you know, exhausted, trying to readjust to normalcy versus
Right.
vacation life,
Right.
you know, and so they're just overwhelmed with everything. And then on top of it, my sister's over excelling a little bit and daddy's acknowledging her. Not that they're competitive in a negative way. It's
Right.
just like, oh, but I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm so tired. I'm so overwhelmed. I can't adjust. Da, 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 da. So they're at this level.
Yeah.
And what you did was you did not meet their level for many reasons. One, because it's not going to do anything other than make it worse.
Yeah.
You know, you came in at this level. And what they had to do was she had to stop and calm herself down, because as much as you can say, you know, stop crying or calm yourself down, they don't know how to do that.
Right, yes.
And so what you did,
Yep.
and I don't know if you realize you did this, is that you demonstrated calming down.
Yeah.
You demonstrated it by going, hey,
Uh-huh.
da, 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 and you talked and you made her get out of the emotion into the thinking side of her brain, and the thinking side of her brain is like, wait, what's he saying? Daddy's talking. I want to hear what daddy has to say. And so it brought that emotion down
Right.
as she was getting back into logic, because logic's out the door when you're throwing a temper tantrum. You know, we've all done that.
No kidding.
And then she's listening to you. And then what was the awesome moment is that you kept doing it. You didn't go whoop back up.
Right.
Like, ah, blah, 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 blah. You kept yourself under control so that she can bring herself down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it was awesome. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Now, is it going to work again? Who knows?
Who knows?
But it did work. 2 for 2. That's pretty darn good.
I mean,
But at the same time, look at what you did to de-escalate and help her to monitor her own emotions and bring her down without yelling at her or without telling her to stop. You just demonstrated it.
Yeah.
And these kids, as you've already said, they're learning by observing you, and she observed you do that. So
it's crazy.
Isn't that awesome?
It's so cool.
Isn't
And
it-
again,
did you go to bed going, oh yeah,
I
I
felt-
scored in the parenting
I
category
felt like I
today."
was the real MVP. Let's be honest. But again, to your point, though, have I and probably will I still? I say screw up, but not screw up
Absolutely.
in the sense of, you know, will I meet them at their height? Yeah, because I'm going to get annoyed and it's going to happen. But it's all and it's funny because as we've talked about all this, you learn. You know, you watch your kids learn. You know, and it's so funny because I think as parents, we learn, like in the sense of like I don't know why that idea of talking really quiet popped in my brain. No one ever
There.
told me that,
Yes.
but it just I don't know why.
It doesn't
just
matter,
happened,
but you
right?
did it. Mm-hmm.
So I learned something that I never thought of before, you know, and so I've learned that with twins, I got to get 2 of everything. I learned that, you know, this. So there's so many different things that I feel like I've learned, but continuously screw up. But again, you learn from it throughout this entire process of being a parent. I don't know. Yeah. I don't mean to cut you. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess I was going to ask, like, do you ever stop learning as a parent?
Gosh, no, you
Yeah.
never stop learning as a person.
Right.
You never. But okay,
Yeah.
so this is where I was going to go with what you were saying. You do not know where you came up with that idea to talk softly. I say you do. You just don't realize it. And that is, if you're in a business meeting and somebody's yelling at you, you're not going to yell back at them.
Right.
You talk quietly or you bring it down a notch. I mean, you have those skill sets. It's just a matter of you morphed them,
Like
you
doing it,
tweaked
yeah.
them and applied it to this small tiny little human.
Right.
So you do it came from somewhere because you've done it before, because we all have to do that when we're in
Did
a
it before.
business meeting or professional anything. You have to stay calm, you
Yeah.
know. so you just applied another knowledge that you already had in a different situation.
Right.
So no, yes, we're always, always, always learning. Sometimes I think the parenting doesn't do it. The word parenting doesn't do it justice because I feel like we're teachers.
Yeah. Okay,
I
that's a fair
feel like
point.
we're
Yeah.
teachers,
Yeah.
and I think parenting's a great word. We're not going to change it, nor should we change it. But I think the concept of parenting is truly just teaching.
Yeah.
It's teaching at a home level. It's teaching so much more than what we think of teachers as the academics. It's you're teaching.
Teaching
You're-
life skills.
I'm still
Yeah.
teaching my children who are in their 20s because my youngest one will say, "Okay, Mom, what do I do about?" Recently, she was trying to get internet for a new apartment, and blah 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 blah, question, and thought. I'm like, well, tell me, what are you thinking? And da 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 da. And so we problem solve together. Whereas at your age, there's not a lot of problem solving. Sometimes you're just solving the problem. You know what I mean? But at 20 something, you're helping them problem solve. So I'm still doing an element of teaching.
Yeah.
It's just not frontline teaching.
Well, I'm
It's-
sure too with it as well with your daughter who obviously has your grandson. You're teaching, trying to help being a parent. You know what I mean? And like, Mom, what do I do with this?
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
Like, how, little one's acting up and doing this. Like, what's something I could do? You know what I mean? Or it may not even be that drastic, but just
Right,
little things
right.
like that. You're constantly teaching. I know there's been moments where I've called my mom or gotten her thoughts on something, or just quite frankly remembering how my parents may have done it. Like, so one of the things too,
Yes, good point.
to kind of lump some praise, their way. I mean, my dad was a very hands-on dad from a parent standpoint. He was a guy that when he came home, he was home, right? When he came home from work, he was home. Work was dropped at the door and we're home. You know what I
Nice.
mean? And then, wherever he went, he would take us. Whatever he went to go do, he would take us. You know what I mean? Go fishing, go hunting, go sports. He would coach us. He would do all that. So it's, for me, I have that mindset of I want to do that and then some. Because you always want to one up your parents, right? You always want to, do a little better, So for me, like, the girls did T-ball this summer. The wife's like, want to sign up for T-ball. The first thing out of my mouth was absolutely. And the second thing was, I want to coach. And she goes,
Yes.
you do? And I'm like, yeah. She's like,
that's awesome.
and she wasn't like, it wasn't a bad, like, why. She was just like, well, why? And I'm like, well, my dad coached me. And I'm like, I want to do it. Like, I got the time. Let's do it, And so just you where you come from and how that goes. And even, if it's, I'm one of those people. Sorry, I had a brain fart there.
Yeah,
I'm one of those
you're
people
good.
that, again, I want to be as hands-on as possible.
I love
Like,
that.
I want, like, for one of the things for me is like the girls and their hair. My dad, so it's me, my brother, and I have a younger sister. My dad, loved him to death, never did my sister's hair. Like, just that was not his repertoire. And I get it, respect it.
Yes.
He was the manly dad, and I'm the manly dad, but I got two girls.
Yeah.
So one of the things for me, I
You
don't
need to
want
know
a
how to do
girly,
hair a little
yeah.
bit. Yeah.
But when the girls got long enough hair to be able to do what they have now, like with the ponytails or the little puff balls that they got
Oh,
and
yes,
do in their hair,
yes.
the
Love it.
curls. Like, my wife is hands down way better than I am, but I told her, I'm like, I want to do it, and she's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, what? And so I will sit there and meticulously do the hair. And
That's
it's
awesome.
funny because I got pretty good at it. I'm not gonna lie to
Nice.
myself, not gonna lie to
Own
you.
it. Own
So
it.
it's just little things like that where, like, because to me, I don't know where exactly I'm going with this, but it's just, I feel like if I show them what, well, I'll put it this way, because I heard someone say this before. Again, I'm all over the road, Matt, so
No,
I
you're
apologize.
good. I got you. I know where I'm gonna go.
So obviously, I got girls. If I can show them what a guy can do, like that's like my mission in life. It feels like now. Like, if I can show them what a real dude can do, like, that'll, I feel like, set them up for success later on.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my gosh, my dad did my hair. I'm gonna be honest with you, Penny. I'm ready to have my nails painted. Like, I'm
Nice.
ready for all of that. You know what I'm saying?
You're there. You can
And then
do
again,
it.
it's just because I have girls and I want to do that.
But you also didn't know you could do that.
Right.
You learned. As we
Exactly.
talked about, you're constantly
100%.
learning. Okay,
100%.
so yes, I totally understand what you're saying. Love it. So you're not off, even though you felt like you're kind of going this way. You're not, because what you described was you were complimenting your parents because they, and this is a conversation I've had with my kiddos, is we provide this platform, and it was our goal to create this base for you guys.
Yep.
Your goal is to go beyond us and to go beyond what we've given you. And sometimes in society, no, they always just level out. People don't aspire to go better and greater or further than their parents, or maybe sometimes they go below. And I think that, and not to be negative, I just think sometimes that happens. But what you're describing is your parents created what I call as a trampoline for you to bounce off of.
That's a good point.
And you're bouncing off to it's not your parents didn't do well. It's just like, I'm going to take that and I'm going to make it even better. And because your parents did the best they could with what they had, and they were amazing at what they did from what it sounds like. And I'm not saying they're perfect either. None of us are. No. But you're saying, I like that, but now let me do it my way. Let me twist it and let me make it this and take it a notch better, because you do have little girls. Your dad probably would have figured out how to do hair if he had to, if he had only girls in his home.
100%.
You know what I mean? And so you're just it's a trampoline. I swear, I love that analogy. My job is to create the trampoline, a stability for you, and then you bounce off of that. I want you to grow beyond me. I want you, not beyond, no, that's the wrong way to say it. I want you to grow
beyond what I've shown you.
Thank you. Yeah, not beyond me. That sounds like away from me. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like you want to grow past what I've taught you. Like I've given you the baseline.
Yes.
Now take it above and beyond.
Yeah,
take it further. Yes. Take it further. In the reality is,
you don't have to recreate the wheel. Go.
There you go. My whole thing is I want my kids to be better than what I'm doing.
Yes.
So like, okay, dad did this, mom did this. Go now, be better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And their kids will be better. You know, it's a whole building block thing.
Yes. So an example that I've noticed recently is, like, I was a Sunday school teacher. I think I did good enough. And as I get older, I realize maybe good enough wasn't good enough. But I don't know. But I see my children far beyond my understanding when I was teaching them Sunday school. They know so much more now as an adult when they could be teaching Sunday school. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel really inadequate because they know so much more than I did when I was their age, you know.
But you gave them the baseline.
I gave them a baseline, and they have catapulted from that. And now I think they know more than I do. You know what I mean? When it comes to some stuff in that realm, you
100%.
know. And so I think that's an example. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Okay. 100%. I got a different kind of spin I want to take on this from, you know, because you are in that grandparent stage of life, and kind of where I'm at with my parents now, of course, being grandparents. And we've had a conversation of kind of where parenting stops.
Yes.
And where I call it more of a friendship kind of comes into play.
Oh.
And I don't know if I'm wrong at this. I have no idea, but we'll talk about it on the other side. Again, this is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. We'll be right back. Welcome back to hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything.
Why do we do this? This is like our thing.
I don't know what this is.
All four of us do this. Woo!
Ryan Muma, Penny, Practically Perfect, Kateless, Laureless as well. It's kind of a tongue twister, but we made it through. We've been talking kids, parenting, the whole nine, because, you know, we're just these experts that, you know, can give you all this wealth of knowledge and take it with you. But I think the disclaimer in all of this is, you know, and I said this in not hour number one. I'm used to that with my show. Sorry. I said this in the first segment that, you know, you're hearing a lot of the successes that I've had, Penny's had, or whatever. But look, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say there's been a lot of failure to go along with that, you know. And so I'm not perfect, you know. To the person listening, it's like, oh, you got it all figured out. No, I don't. You know, I've got mini wins. You know, we got mini wins. That's about it. You know, but those mini wins I look at as colossal ones, you know, if that makes sense. Like I fixate more on those than I do, you know, the bad, you know, and kind of learn from those things. So I just want to say that, you know what I mean? Because again, it's not perfect. It's not roses. No. You know, like here's the thing. Roses got thorns. We got thorns. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I'm just popping them off.
I
today.
know
My
you're
goodness.
on
Gosh,
fire,
I don't
but
know what it is.
but I agree. I think even when people came to me for therapy, I mean, I have some great ideas,
Yeah.
and I have
Yeah.
knowledge to support it academically, but I also have experiences personally to support it and knowledge just professionally. But the reality is, this is an idea, it's a suggestion. Go home and make it yours.
Yeah, that's right.
This is not saying it is perfect and it's wonderful and it's easy. It is wonderful. It is delightful to be a parent and having the attitude of like, oh, okay, I have many wins, but I also have many successes,
Yeah.
those kind of things. It's taking that time to look at it as it's not horrible. It's just how do you do it and how do you learn as you go. So yes, all right.
100%.
You have an
100%.
idea. What do you have
So,
there?
so my whole thing is, and again, as we've talked about all of this, it sparked this other thought that I've had, and I've had this conversation with my parents because, as we said earlier, you never stop necessarily parenting. At your stage in life, or in this case, also my parents' stage of life, you're helping parent the parent in the sense, right? But I do think there's a caveat in there. At least it is for me. So I found, and annoying is not the right word, and it's the only word that comes to mind. You said something where, again, you build a trampoline, you got to bounce off it. I'm at a point where my parents have built that trampoline. I'm taking what they gave us growing up, molding it into my own, and now here I am. I had to have like a conversation with my parents because there were times where they would kind of parent, and I'm like, I don't need that. Like, I don't need that. And again, it's not that I don't appreciate the advice. It's not that I don't appreciate the sentiment, but it's more of a, okay, you've gotten me to this point, but the point that I'm at right now is nowhere where in the sense that you've been. And I say that nicely.
Yes.
Because again,
Because it's
we've
different.
all been parents, right? Or whatever. But like I've said that before on the show, I'm a foster parent. So my way of going through this parenting is different in some cases than it is with biological parents, in that regard. But a lot of similarities as well. But I guess my biggest thing is like finding that balance. And I don't know, and I'm sure you've maybe found it, because it is asking kind of, you're in that realm where my parents are at,
right.
To where, and I said this before we went to break, I always need my parents. I will always need my parents.
Good.
And I am very appreciative that they are always there to a phone call away to ask a question. But where I'm at in life, and I've told them this, I need at times, or more or less of a parent and more of a friend. Because, and that's kind of a grace to them too.
Yeah.
Like, you're at a point in life where you don't got any birds in the nest no more. You're doing your own thing. My parents are retired. Go do your thing. The youngest of us three, as I've mentioned, she's a junior in college. So technically she's still kind of, but
still.
again, she's very close to see ya, in a good way. But to me, it's like I'm raising my kids, taking what my parents gave me. My wife's taking what her parents gave her, and we've molded it. Now I just need you to be a grandparent, be a friend. Like, and so to
that.
throw it towards you, have you found that, and or is that, do you kind of pick up what I'm putting down?
I totally understand what you're saying, and I think that is truly a compliment that you, in a way, you want them to be your support person,
Right.
not on the
Yes.
front line, just be the support person. But I think part of parenting is as you parent your children, you do parent less because they become more independent.
Right.
So therefore you don't need to be as involved as they get older. And it continues even at this stage of your life where you're still involved, you're still parenting, but you're so removed from it because they are so independent. And what you're saying is, I need my independence. I want you to be my support person.
Right.
I need you to be the backup. I need you to be the hype man. I need you to be grandparents, because
Right.
grandparents are hype people.
Absolutely.
I think they should be.
Yeah.
And so I think what you're doing is you're just helping that process of developmental stuff where it's just like we just slowly become more and more independent, and what you're needing from them is no longer than to be as close to the front line. You just need to be the support person, and I think that's good. I think in my own personal situation, and I know you and I have talked about this off the radio, is that I'm in a little bit of a unique situation because of my professional background.
Correct. Yep.
So when the kids are like saying something that they're needing some guidance from, it kind of I have dual role. I guess is what am I trying to say? I don't have dual role. I don't know how else to say it. Just visually it helps me to understand it.
Yeah.
So I think they might come to me differently for, hey mom, what do you think? Not because I'm a mom, but because they know I have this
like
other
the therapy background kind of thing,
the
or
professional side of I understand human behavior. I understand children. I understand how to raise children. I understand that kind of stuff. And so I think that it's kind of it's different for me, but at the same time I want to also clarify that I think that they look towards their father for business stuff because I know that's his strength. You know what I mean? And he brings that to the table. So I think that as I say that, I don't know, I think it applies both situations. But the key is to not give advice unless it's asked for. Right. Unless you see that they need it. And I do feel like I'm in a unique position because I do know that the girls will say, Mom, what do you think? And I know that they're asking me because I'm mom, but also because I understand this in a different way. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I also thoroughly enjoy watching my children parent their child, and I have nothing to do with it other than I just sit and I watch it because I'm learning different ways. I'm like, oh, I would never have done it that way. That's kind of cool that you did it that way. I would not have done it that way. You know what I mean? So even though I think I know how I would have done it, doesn't mean it's right. Because I don't live with a small human. They know that small human way better than I do. Yeah. And so you just let them do it, you know? And I think that that's what you're trying to convey is like, just let us do it. And be our support person. And I think that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm sure if it was really bad, they'd say, Ryan, knock it off. You're being a terrible parent.
Right. No, absolutely. You know? And I would want them to. You know, don't get me wrong. I would want that, you know. And so, again, absolutely agree with everything that you're saying. It's again, not that I don't need my parents. I don't need them as much. And I think my mom had the best kind of, for lack of a better way of saying it, comeback. Because I think this reigns true, and I think it'll reign true when I'm older and my kids are older and all that stuff. You know, as a parent, you don't want to see your kids fail. You don't. Like you do, but you don't.
Yes, yes.
Because
it's a fine line.
Because I can see the professionalism in you, and it's like, well, wait a minute, actually,
sometimes they have to fail, but yes.
But I think big picture wise, no. I mean, if you could, you would love to see your kid not fail and just have success after success after success. And I think for my mom, at times when she would, give her 2 cents or something like that, it was out of love, obviously, and mainly, wanting us to succeed. Hey, I've been here. Why don't you do it this way? You know what I mean? But it came a point, because I like what you said, like I didn't ask for it. And I say that in the nicest of ways. I didn't ask for it because I'm going to fail. And I have failed. But until I fail, I need to figure out why I did. You know what I mean?
Right.
I sat there, my kids run, go back to the tantrum thing. My kid's throwing a tantrum. I'm elevating to their same thing of going, please stop crying. You know what I mean? Like you get annoyed, right? Well, I failed because you're meeting them at that, and well, that didn't work. So, okay, you pocket that and go, well, that didn't work. And then all of a sudden I have a moment like I did the other day where I talked really quiet and it worked. You know what I mean? And so there's a win. And so could my mom have had a different, or my dad had a different approach to it? Probably could have, but I needed to learn that.
You needed to learn the success and
the failure.
Quote fail.
You're right. So it's just it's a balance that I think I will probably, just like my parents, struggle with when I get older, because you want to be like, I'm at a point in my life where they are 3 and I am everything. Like I mean, it is. I mean,
wonderful.
Right.
It should be.
I am everything to them, and I am this, in a sense, bubble that is there to protect. And they're going to get older where they're not going to need the bubble anymore. And it's going to be weird.
There you go. Good.
It's
good.
going to be weird. And it's going to take adjusting on my part as we go back to the whole concept of we're learning, you know, as parents. And so, I don't know. I love being a parent. And I know we've kind of hammered that before, but I love being a parent. And I didn't realize how much I would love it.
Oh.
I really don't. Because I say this, like, again, and I've brought this up, we're foster parents. So, again, it was a different becoming a parent than your quote-unquote typical.
Yes.
I had no idea if I was ready. And now that it's happened, I still don't know if I'm ready. But, again, I am way more ready than I ever thought I would be. And it's actually funny because it's very similar to my dad's quote-unquote story. So I'm the first of 3.
Okay.
So I'll give this quick story. My dad's told me this before. He never wanted kids.
Oh.
Never wanted kids. It was nothing that was in his scheduled book. No kids. You know, he was, you know, an Army vet that just, I'm going to go live life, and that is it. And then my mom got pregnant, and it was me, and he goes, even before I was born, he still was trying to wrap his mind around, like, how am I going to be a dad? Like, I don't know, be a dad. Like, I didn't want to be a dad. I didn't want any part of being a dad. He goes, the minute that I held you, everything changed. And I went from, and he goes, I'm not just trying to create some sap story. He's like, quite literally, I held you for the first time, and it was, I'm dad.
Oh.
Like, it changed.
Oh.
Everything just
goosebumps.
changed.
I love it.
You know, and it was funny because I had a very similar thing with the twins. We had talked about being foster parents for a month or two after we got married 6 months earlier.
Yeah,
so that's good time
y'all
right
went.
there. We really did. But the funny thing is, Penny, we're going to be celebrating 10 years of being together.
I know. I think
So
that
there's
makes
that.
it totally
It kind of
different.
makes it, when you hear it at first, you're like, you guys are nuts. And it's like, well, technically we've been together.
We've
We
been together,
didn't
yeah.
put a ring on it,
No,
until
yep,
very
yep.
later on. Anyways, I had a very similar thing when we were talking about becoming foster parents, and, you know, the twins came into care, unfortunately. And there was talk about us, you know, possibly being an option. And my wife said very early, I'm ready, but it's up to you. Like, you tell me when you are. And there were so many, you know, dudes on your shoulder saying, yeah, do it, or no, don't do it. You know, I don't know if you're ready. Similar to my dad's hospital experience, the first day
That's awesome.
that I brought them home, I have a picture of it, and I think I've showed you this picture. We had a bouncy seat in the corner of our old rental house that we had, because we have a new house now. And they were playing on it, and I'm just sitting on the floor watching, doing what I do now. I'm just watching as they're doing their thing. And all of a sudden, they both turned and looked at me.
Huh?
One had a smile on their face. The other one had just the baby face. And luckily, I had my phone right there, and it just, something told me to snap a picture of it. But in that moment, they both looked at me, and it was like this sense of, I'm a dad now.
I'm on.
And it was it was my dad's hospital moment
I love that.
for me. They both looked at me, and I go, yep,
Okay.
this is it. This is what I want to do.
Did you share that with your dad?
I don't know if I actually have.
You need to share that with your dad.
I do.
Especially
I
since
do.
that was such a neat moment
Yeah.
in his life where he shifted. But you don't know what
Yeah.
you don't know.
Right.
You know, and sometimes you just gotta trust it, and you trusted it, and you just deep dove, and you're like, oh, I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know I could do this, and you're still today saying, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could pull out that amazing parenting technique just
Right.
then. Will I have another bad one? Absolutely. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So you don't know what you don't know, and I think sometimes we get so in our head and we overthink things that we don't allow our instincts, our gut,
100%.
to guide us, and you let that guide you.
Yeah.
And even your dad recognized it. He just like, no, logically, no. But
Yeah.
pretty soon his gut's like, yeah, but we're doing it. We got to do this,
Yeah.
and here we are. And
Because it was very
That's
similar
so
to my
cool.
dad, where it's not that I didn't want to have kids. I've always wanted to have kids,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like, we just got married. I want to enjoy life. You know, kind of the same, I'm a dude. I don't want kids. You know what I mean? And my dad was very similar, you know? And then, but when it happened, it just, unlike my dad, I've always wanted to have kids. but I didn't think I was ready at that moment. But I'm so glad I chose that moment to do it.
Yes. Well, and also you had said your dad was such a hands-on dad. That's
Yeah.
even amazing and impressive in its own right that he didn't know if he even wanted to be a father. And
Oh
then
my
all of
God.
a sudden he turns out to be a hands-on dad, which some parents are not hands-on parents, you
Yeah.
know, and he chose to not only parent, but he also hands-on parenting, you know.
Yes.
And I think that's interesting that he grew. He grew.
100%.
That's all about what we've been talking about is
Yeah.
understanding that we're always in a constant state of growing. And it doesn't matter how old you are, if you're at the end of your life and you're 100, or if you're at the beginning of your life and you're 6 months old, it doesn't
Right.
matter. You're constantly learning.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what makes life fun is that you do learn and you do grow and you allow yourself to grow. We don't have to stay stagnant. We can keep moving and going and growing. So
It's been a fun show today.
I
been a
know.
good
You did
one.
a great job.
You know what? No. You did a great job.
And you know what? For the
Penny.
record, I give you lots of compliments, but as I tell people all the time, I'm very nice, but I'm not going to give you a compliment if you don't deserve it.
No.
So I'm not that nice.
That's right. And I
So
appreciate
If
you.
you
I
get
do.
compliments, you deserve them.
I
So.
appreciate that. I
Uh-huh.
really do.
Yeah.
And you did great too. And this has been a lot of fun. I hope everyone's enjoyed it just as much as we have. And again, you know, continue to learn, continue to grow, and continue to be the best parent that you can be, whatever form that looks like.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So, again, this has been a great show. Appreciate you guys coming along for the crazy ride.
Yes.
And again, this has been #everyone, talking about #everything. Have a great and safe rest of your Sunday.